Hello, Reading Group 3. Okay, so we are going to start right off the bat, learning a new vowel pattern. So we've been looking at our layer cake vowel patterns, and so far we've learned letter A on the crunchy filling with E on the frosting. We've also learned letter I on the filling with letter E on the frosting. Today we're going to be putting letter O in this new layer cake costume. So if letter O is now going to take his turn saying his name, and the E is still silent, curly, fluffy frosting, it doesn't make any noise when you eat it, this does the talking, that's silent, then this is the word pole, pole, like you put a flag on the pole. So now what this means is we've got two vowel patterns that both make the same sound, OA and O plate E. This was the very first vowel pattern we ever learned, and it says O, and now we've got layer cake that also says O. So when you do spelling activities and you don't know whether it's peanut butter and jelly or layer cake, then you can learn a story to know which words are OA and which words are O plate E. But we'll do that probably next year. We don't have time to do it in these video lessons, and it's too complicated. But just know that there's now two vowel patterns that say O. So let's practice reading these two words right here. We have O plate E. There's our vowel pattern, O plate E. And it says O. This one says home. This is home. Okay, let's try this one. O plate E says O. No, nose. Remember, when letter S is next to bully E, it will buzz like that. So this is not nose, it's nose, nose. Okay, here are some other words for you to practice. I want you to push pause on the video, and I want you to practice reading these words. Try to get them all four on the screen. There you go. Okay, so when you're finished, push play. Okay, we're now going to go ahead and look at some vocabulary. So I need you to get a vocabulary paper built, yes, and so that you can write the word at the top of each square. You're going to draw a picture, and then you're going to use the word in a sentence down here at the bottom. Okay, so the first word that we're going to put on our vocabulary, some of them you read. Okay, here's the first one. We're going to do this word right here. Okay, go ahead and try to read it by yourself. All right, this is the word mope, mope. A dog, when you don't play with it, it will mope. Look at this poor baby. He's so sad. To mope is a face that we give. It's a look on our face. We're sad. When we're sad or we're lonely and no one will pay any attention to us, or sometimes when we're bored, we will mope. We will look as sad as we can, and hopefully somebody will pay attention to us and give us what we want, right? So that's mope. All right, so I want you to put mope on your vocabulary. Draw me a picture, and then use the word mope in a sentence. It's something you do. So you could say, I moped around the house because I was bored. All right? Okay, our next word that we're going to put in our vocabulary is the word cove. Okay, now cove is kind of like a bay. And I don't know if you remember, but we learned what a bay was. A bay is a horseshoe-shaped beach. It's a round beach where the water's been washed away and it's left kind of a round, curved beach. Well, a bay is pretty big and a cove is a lot smaller. Here is a cove. Okay, so the water has washed away all of these rocks right here. They've been washed away, and the beach has moved way back inside the rocks. Notice how it's surrounded by these cliffs on either side. Okay, you could sail your ship right in here to the cove because that dark, dark water is very deep. It doesn't get shallow until about right here when it turns kind of greenish. And then, so pirates would sail their ship into a cove to hide when they were being chased by the Navy. They would sail their ships inside a cove. Here's another cove. Okay, so you could sail your ship right inside here, and you could hide from any ships that might be sailing by out here. And so pirates would hide their ships inside a cove. Sometimes they would get out and bury their treasure in the cove. Okay, so you're going to put cove on your vocabulary, draw me a picture of a cove, and then write a sentence. All right, your next word is bore. Okay, to bore means to drill a hole. So this guy right here is using an old-fashioned drill before power drills, and he'll turn the crank like this and it will bore a hole in the wood. So there's the drill bit, and as he turns the crank, it turns the drill bit and he can bore a hole with it. To bore means to drill a hole. Add the word bore to your vocabulary. Draw me a picture of someone boring a hole and use the word bore in a sentence. Okay, our next vocabulary is dome. Okay, a dome is a curve-shaped roof. Okay, it has a roof. Sometimes it's on a Capitol building, like this is a fancy government building. And they will put a dome on the top because they're very expensive and they look very fancy. You can go to a dome like this where a professional sports team may play inside a dome. So you'll notice how the roof is curved like this. All right, so that's a dome. Now, once you finish, I want you to add the word dome here. Draw me a picture and write a sentence. We're going to move on to our next word. Our next word is loan. Like this. Loan. All right. So, I have two pictures to show you for loan. The first one is a lone wolf. Lone means to be alone. Okay, so we have two different loans. We have this loan right here. This is to loan someone a pencil, or you can loan, a bank can loan you money. But this loan means that you're all alone or there's only one. This wolf has been kicked out of his pack, probably because he tried to take over and they didn't want him doing that, and so they kicked him out, and he has to be all alone. He has to hunt for himself. He has no other wolves in his pack. He is a lone wolf. Okay, he lives by himself and has to take care of himself. Okay, he is a lone wolf. Now the other kind of lone is the Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger is an older story. He was a cowboy who would ride in and rescue and save people. He would catch bad guys, which is why he wears the white hat to signify that he's good. He also wore a mask, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but he's got a little mask on his eyes. Okay, can you see that? He's got a mask covering his eyes because he likes to keep his identity secret. His best friend was an Indian named Tonto. This is the Lone Ranger. Okay, so we have a lone wolf and we have a Lone Ranger. He was the only one and he acted by himself. Sometimes he'd have his friend Tonto with him, but he called himself the Lone Ranger. All right. Next word, we have one more, and I don't have a picture for this one, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So you're going to add this one to your vocabulary paper in your next empty square. This one is a sound. You can download ringtones. This is the word tone. You can download a ringtone on your smartphone. So if you have a favorite song and you want every time your phone to ring, you want to hear that favorite song as your ringtone, you can download it. A tone is a sound, okay? It's a sound that you hear. So I can't draw a picture of it, right? It's just a sound that you hear. Now you might draw a picture on your vocabulary paper. You could draw a picture of a cell phone and it's ringing and it's making music. So you could draw something like that to show what tone means on your vocabulary paper. Okay, that was our last word. So I'm going to go ahead and show you your worksheets for this lesson. Your first one is page 18. It looks like this. You're going to look at these words and you're going to decide, are they peanut butter and jelly words because the vowels stand right next to each other in the middle of the word? Or are they layer cake words because there's curly, fluffy, frosting E on the end? So look at this first word. Are the two vowel friends standing right next to each other like inside a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Or are they separated and there's a curly, fluffy frosting on the E on the end? This word is a layer cake word. So you would write bone, like a dog bone, right here, okay? And then you cross it out. You're done. Then you're going to go on and look at the next one and do the same thing, and you're sorting all of these words. All right. Your next worksheet is this one. This one is page 19. You need to write yes or no in the blank after you have read the sentence. So you're going to read it and you're going to decide, could this happen? If it could, you put yes. If there's no way that could ever happen, you'd put no. Okay? All right. Now, your reading practice for today, there's only 2 worksheets. So what we're going to do is you're going to read page 16, and I want you to choose 2 of these sentences to draw me a picture of. Okay, so read the sentences, choose 2 of them, draw me a picture of those 2 sentences, give me a picture of your vocabulary, give me a picture of your worksheets as your lesson, okay? All right, till the next time.